You might as well just put the yeah. Thank you, because I'm about to clear the lane out here. I got a lot of shit to motherfucking say about this particular team that I root for, a team that I have been a fan of for I've been on this earth 35 years, about 30 of them years, and this season was a weird season. Also, I've covered this team. I just finished my third season covering this thing. I want to give a shout out to everybody who I fuck with on the beat. Shout out my man Herb Howard from the Bigs. Shout out my guy Jason Leisure, Chicago Sun-Times. My man Nicholas Mariano, CHGO Sports. My man Gino, my man's Terrence from the Bigs. Just everybody, most of the people on the Bears beat are real cool. So shout out to everybody. It was a privilege to cover this team with y'all this year. But I think there's great people with the organization. I'm doing a Stephen A. Smith right now. It's great people in the organization, people that care for you, people that look out for you. There's a lot of people who actually work for the team, who fuck with what we do at Barbers Chat Network, fuck with me and my brother and everything that we do at 79 and Hallis, and they have looked out tremendously. So I fuck with them. This is not about people who work there. Having said all of that, the people who run the spot don't know how to run a goddamn football team. And we just got to call it like it fucking is. Last night was the first Packer game I watched where I didn't get upset about them losing. And I knew this shit was going to happen. And the Bears do this shit all the time. They throw a little hype video out there on the YouTube and the Twitter and try to get the fan base riled up. Biggest rivalry in the history of the game. The two founding franchises, Lombardi and Hallis, la, 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 la. At the end of the day, dog, this was a reality check. And my original plan coming into today, recordings, we ain't recorded in 3 weeks. My plan was to be positive, because I thought this team was going in a positive trajectory with the last couple weeks, winning 5 home games in a row, winning the last couple games, despite the fact that they left 3 wins on the table. This team realistically should be 10-7 right now. Now 10-7 right now, and getting ready to host a playoff game not host a playoff game, but in a playoff game this coming weekend. But they're not. And you had all this positive momentum. You're like, okay, week 1 was different. Maybe a little bit too hype. Home opener. You're not expecting much from Jordan Love. And you had the nasty man who was your defensive coordinator. When he was watching Bang Bros instead of actually running the right fucking defense against the fucking Packers. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, that's different. We didn't have pass rush at the time. Now you got Montez Sweat, a guy who's the first dude in like NFL history or something like that to have 6 sacks with 2 teams in one season. So he had 6 sacks with Commanders and 6 sacks with the Bears. You're like, okay, the way this defense been playing well, we should be able to at least make this better, even though Jalen Johnson is out. By the way, pay the man. They just completely got outclassed. This is, if you want to be, and I'm usually a glass half full person. If anybody knows me personally, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I can't look at this game this way. This was just way too easy for the Packers. And we can sit up here. We can talk about Justin this, Justin that, bad, coaching, bad situation. You're 100% right. I have never seen an organization sabotage a young quarterback the way they did Justin Fields. It was a sabotage masterclass. Now, that's not absolving Justin of the other issues he has. Justin has issues he has. Justin can play better. Despite the bullshit he's in, he hasn't had enough. Justin has had flashes. And as Lou Riddick likes to say, flashes get you fired. So I'm not trying to, be a complete Justin fanboy. And y'all very well my allegiance. I've been a Justin fan since QB1. This is not just because he's a Bears quarterback. I will be a fan of that nigga if he does leave wherever the fuck he goes. And just, being around him, talking to him at the facility. He's a cool young guy. A cool kid. It's wild I can call him kid. You're an old nigga when you call somebody, this nigga got way more money than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling this nigga a kid because I'm 12 years older than this nigga. But he's a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a fan. But he hasn't. The reason it's a tough decision because he ain't blown it out the water either. So I'm aware of that. But the reality of the situation is, whichever way you want to look at it, I had a tweet Saturday night. Bears fans need to stop bitching because you looked at what CJ Stroud did against the Colts this past weekend and able to get Little do we know that was the AFC South Championship game with the Texans winning the division in year one, and now they're going to the playoffs. And as great as he's been, there are a lot of people like, oh, well, Ryan Poles passed up on him, which I don't like that theory, but we're not going to get into that again. I was like, next year you're going to have a quarterback. Either it's going to be Justin Fields or it's going to be Caleb Williams. You should feel good about that. But after watching last night, and not that I ever wanted Eberflus back, but I was warming up to it a little bit more. But this is just another example of why he got to fucking go. This team was just not prepared. They were not prepared. They were outclassed. It was a carbon copy of week one. And I'm glad I wasn't there last night. Week one pissed me off so bad, I didn't even do post game. I went to a fucking bar. The professionalism went out of me. I didn't stay for fucking post game. So it's something where, like, the Green Bay Packers showed that the Bears have made strides this year, but they're still not closer than closest as they should be. We want to talk about rebuilding this, rebuilding that. Nigga, the Packers was rebuilding this shit. The Packers wasn't supposed to be in the playoffs. The Packers wasn't supposed to be this competitive. They just got rid of their fucking franchise quarterback for damn near the last 20 years. And Jordan Love, we can sit up here and talk all that shit we want. That's a good fucking quarterback. I saw Bears fans tweet, oh, we only hits open wide receivers. That's what the fuck good quarterback's supposed to do. And Matt LaFleur, good coach. He's scheming these guys open. He's making the game easier for his quarterback. And it's just like the Bears have this archaic system. So hear me good and hear me very clearly before I open up the panel to this. It's going to be the same shit. If Matt Eberflus keeps his job, which we are all expecting that's going to be the case. I reported this back in October, that was the feeling around the building, just the vibe that I got being in Hallis Hall. It felt like, oh, he's only a lame duck coach to Bears fans. This dude is going nowhere. And so I'll be shocked. We don't know. Today was player interviews with the GM and the president, Kevin Warren, and Eberflus. Why Eberflus was in these fucking meetings, I have no fucking idea. These players should be able to talk freely about Eberflus. And then we found out that, I have not gotten an email from Bears PR about when the year-end press conference is going to be. So this is probably going to drag a little bit longer this week. Unless Kevin Warren pulls a Jed Hoyer, which I'm praying to God he does, and says, look, yes, Eberflus did a better job this year than he did last year. We appreciate his contributions. We're going to go another direction. And you fucking blow Jim Harbaugh's lineup like you're a fucking crazy ex. That's what the fuck you need to be doing. I will be in Houston right fucking now, as soon as the game is over. Oh, so I got the jet. And let's go talk about this contract. That's what they need to be doing. But the fact of the matter is, we know that's not going to happen. We heard the comments that Tracy Wolfson reported last night that Kevin Warren likes continuity. If you're a Chicago sports fan, Mariano knows this. Well, last time we heard continuity. Oh, them bums playing on the west side of Chicago. The fucking Bulls. It's like my PTSD started flaring up from that. So we all know what's going to happen. And now you're setting up Caleb. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be, I'm telling you right now, for Bears fans who think Caleb is just going to be some fucking Superman, I think Caleb is very talented. Very talented in the right system. I think he can be great. There's nothing right about the Bears in offense system in a 108-year history of this fucking franchise. So if you're going to bring him in with an Eberflus, and who fucking knows who the offensive coordinator is going to be? If they do let go of Luke Getsy and they replace him with somebody like a fucking Frank Wright, you're going down the same fucking path again. And then you're going to expect him to be Superman. And when he doesn't do the same things that you want to do next season, y'all going to be ready to call him everything but a child of God. It's a circle of shit. Until they uproot everything and do this the right way, it's going to be the same thing. And Bears fans, y'all can get up here on Twitter and tell me, oh, I'm going to stop watching. Cut the bullshit. That's why they get away with the murder they do now. Because they know y'all niggas going to keep tweeting about them. They know y'all niggas going to keep buying the merchandise. They know y'all niggas going to keep going to the games on home and on the road. When I went to the fucking Chargers, I've been on road. I did 4 road games this year. It was a large Bears fan contingent at every goddamn arena I went to. You're going to keep watching and you're going to keep supporting this circle of shit. And it's just nothing's going to change unless something is changed from the root. And that's from the McCaskies. That's from Kevin Warren. That's the Ryan Poles. They need to have a come to Jesus moment. Get rid of this dude. Get you an actual coach. We keep talking about, oh, the Bears have never found a good quarterback. Outside of Lovie Smith and fucking Mike Ditka, they have never found a good coach. And I don't want to hear about George Halas, all due respect. He was the first coach. But even was that 100 fucking years ago? Like the bar needs to be higher, man. At this point, it kind of feels like Isaiah Thomas era Knicks, and that's just pretty much where I'm at with it, man. I'm gonna go to Dante first. He's the resident Bears fan here with me. What do you feel about just this situation? I kind of feel like we were positive 48 hours ago. We had good vibes, and now it just kind of feels like we back where we was at.
Yeah, I think that's probably a blessing in disguise, because the reality is, had they finished this season on a win streak, had they, even made the playoffs, we would have just got excited and glossed over all the issues. Because now, like you say, hindsight's 2020. We sit here looking at the schedule and we say, well, they were 1-7 against teams above 500. The quarterbacks they beat were pretty fucking terrible. So I mean, I think the letdown from that game, and it being, like you said, a mirror image of week one, has taken all of the positivity away that they have built up over these last few weeks. I mean, you look at the defense. You were one of the most aggressive defenses in the league the last 5 weeks, and then you just sit there and zone all day and let Jordan Love pick you apart. Like, I knew it was a wrap when in the fourth quarter, when we still had a chance to win the game, we got them pinned against their end zone. They on like the 3-yard line. And we dropped back, gave everybody 10 yards cushion, and just said, all right, fuck it, we're gonna just see what you do. And he picked them apart. Got first down, game over. Like, we didn't touch the ball after the 6-minute mark. So I mean, at this point, it's more of it seems like it's going back to where we were before, where it's like, all right, it is what it is. Same old Bears. We know what this is. We know what they're gonna do. They're gonna find a way to fuck this up. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't move Justin, but they're gonna move him, and probably in true Chicago Bears fashion, they're gonna fire 2 out of 3, keep 1. Then when that don't work, and after 3 years, they're gonna run it back again, completely new cycle. So same thing, same shit, different day. I'm disappointed is probably the best word, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. This is probably where I should have been. This is my fault for buying in. I think we do this like every 2 years.
We do it all the time.
Insert Chicago team here, like it could be the Bulls, it could be the White Sox. Every couple of years, we dumb enough to be like, you know what? I think they might have figured it out, and they ain't figured out shit. So I'm really gonna take a wait and see approach with this from here on out. I think based with you should be getting a new head coach, but you're not. You're not. So
yeah, we know
nothing's gonna change.
From an outsider perspective, man, Courtney, what do you think about this? Of course, you're privileged. You know good football. We don't.
Do I?
Well, we're talking about just the college. We're not talking about.
Okay, I'm like, because do I? I had to let the Saints go, and okay, in my stupidity, I picked up the Eagles. Okay, and they have really hurt me the past 6 weeks. So I don't even. They really just fumbled the division to the freaking Cowboys, and now I got to deal with them.
As we see Mariano with the Giants cup right there.
Oh yeah. We're really struggling today, aren't we? But no, I just don't understand the logic of fans, I guess, that are proud of being loyal to bad teams and to giving your money to fund bad teams. I just don't get it. Nothing is going to change. It's like you said, I feel like I see this as an outsider. I'm not even like a Bears fan like that, but because of you guys, I really followed the Bears this season, and I was pretty locked in on everything going on. And I have to be honest,
because that's all we talk about in the chat. It's them.
Correct. Well, the problem is, though, in my opinion, it's not Justin Fields. I don't see what changes about the landscape of that organization by bringing in a rookie quarterback unless you change everything in the environment around him. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it's going to end up happening is the same thing. Give it 2-3 years. He's not going to get the results that he wants. Eberflus is going to be gone in what? 2 years, maybe? And then you're going to have to bring in another coach. And then he's going to struggle in his 3rd year, 4th year. And then people are going to be like, oh no, is it time to talk about drafting a new quarterback? And then, oh my gosh, wash, rinse, repeat. It's embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed?
I'm very embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed. I don't like showing my face at events. Like, people be looking at me. You tell people who are like, fans of like other teams, they look at you like, like you're a fucking Vietnam vet when they tell you you're a Bears fan. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like I'm tired of being embarrassed in front of public.
One of the worst shits ever. Week 1, I had to watch that Bears game in the airport. And one thing you know about airport bars, everybody gathers around the
everybody
bar.
think they
So
Stephen A. Smith.
naturally, I'm sitting next to 3 Packer fans. And midway through the game, bro, no bullshit. Like we sitting there, we've been having a good conversation. Packer fans are usually cool. They don't go too bad because they know they be beating our ass. So you usually just get a good laugh out of Packer fans. This dude, no lie, we sipping our beer. So he tapped me. He goes, "So Caleb Williams, huh?" Like that's life as a Bears fan. Like there is no positivity.
Yeah, that's so embarrassing. I would be like, I wouldn't even like rep the Bears anymore. That's crazy.
Well, this thing, I'm in it for. I'm like this. I can give up the White Sox.
Like, but why? But why are you in it
there's
for? Like,
there's no actual reason. I just love this shitty ass thing. It's like
my brother Dante, bring out the sign.
It's like this. It's like this with the Bears. It's like with the Bears and the Bulls, bro. Like it's like this. Like with the, and then we'll move on. We'll talk about more of this in overtime. But like to me, it's the White Sox were easy to give up because it's fucking White Sox. Like they have been, at least the Bears have been to the playoffs. They ain't been a lot, but it's been more than fucking White Sox. Yes, the White Sox have won a World Series. Won a World Series on my birthday, but that was almost 20 years ago. And it's like the White Sox don't even act like they give a fuck. Like at least the Bulls will do shit like, oh, we'll make a play in, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. But it's just something where, I'm just not gonna get rid of them. It's like the baby mama you have that, like, yo, it's like I should get rid of them, but I'm not.
But you know what's crazy though? Like looking at the Bears, like you said on the outside looking in, right? Like people forget that like sports are still a job for these athletes, right? Like it's still work. You still got to go to work. I'm gonna assume we've all been in work environments where they might have brought in somebody new who can do the job and everything like that, but nobody likes this motherfucker, or nobody, it's whatever. But then you got somebody who can do the job probably just as well, and everybody loves them. They make the morale, the morale is through the roof. I think that's what's going on with Justin Fields. When you hear about like how his receivers talk about him, how the rest of the team talks about him, they really enjoy having him there. And I think that not only is he not the problem, but you're going to create a whole different problem if you get rid of him, because even if Caleb Williams is good, Caleb Williams has to look at Justin Fields and say, shit, it don't matter how much these people like you. You start fucking up and it look better for us to get rid of you. That's what we're going to do. Like you're not giving Justin Fields any or anybody, any player for that fact to come there. These players talk, bro. Like they talk. Yeah. You get rid of Justin Fields, man, it's going to be nasty, bro. Like maybe you do get the same production out of DJ Moore and whoever else, or maybe you get some, more production, but nobody's, they gonna still be looking like, damn, my dog though. You know what I'm saying? This shit cost me my dog Justin Fields. Like I really feel like the Bears are a team that needs to rely on like the continuity. Like we got a guy that people like, cool. Let's keep that. Let's build around him. And then a couple years from now, if it don't work, then all right, cool. Nobody's mad. But you giving up on him this early is absolutely crazy to me. Like
you bring up a good point too. Let's just say Justin, let's just say this is just who Justin is, right? And he's like, inconsistent, whatever. Whatever picks you get in a Caleb trade is gonna feed nations, nigga. Like you'll have more than enough chances to get you another fucking quarterback. So and then you bring up a good point, Mariano. Like there has been, first of all, when I was there last week for the Cardinals game, I have never in my 3 years of actually my entire time as a Bears fan, I never heard anybody chant for the fucking quarterback. It was audibly loud. We want Fields. And I'm being in the press box. And I was like, are they chanting we want Fields? It was loud. And then you got the teammates who've come out. Jaquan Briscoe says, I don't know why we're having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy. DJ Moore has been on the front line. He said it again today in exit interviews. They asked him on 670 to score. I think he was on with Parkins and Spiegel today. And he was like, I don't even know why we're having this conversation. This is my quarterback. This is the guy who should be here. Mm-hmm. And he was like, basically, he was saying that Lou Getsy ain't shit. And we'll get that in overtime. But he was like, I don't think that he's gonna be going anywhere. And they said, did you let Ryan pose this? He said, oh, I let him. He said he already knows, but I let him know, and I think my voice is respected. So the fans and the players feel this way. First of all, I never see fans at Hallis Hall, by the way. Because if anybody's been to Hallis Hall, it's in a real dip-off area. You have no idea that there's an NFL facility over there. But they had fans there with signs all across the entrance getting to Soldier Field, to get in Hallis Hall, and it said, we want Fields, and then Justin went over there and spent like an hour signing autographs. So I do think that yes, they're professionals, they're millionaires, they'll get over it if they have to. But why cause a mutiny for no fucking reason, man?
Right.
We got Bang here. He said we're not gonna put Bang on probation because he actually did give a notice. I just was not received the way that I thought.
When I tell y'all this has been a day, this has been a day.
It's been a Monday for all of us.
It's been a very, very big Monday. So you're not on probation. Dante is in the penalty box today.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Bang, go ahead. What's your thoughts on everything Bears and the current? You missed my 10-minute rant while I went off about the cold reality of this team.
I really wanted to see that, but I'll keep it short because I am on hella CP time. I'm conflicted because like Mariano, I heard what you're saying as far as like the community goes, but at the end of the day, like, you know, we are in the business of winning games. And if Caleb comes in and they win a game, they're going to be like, all right, as long as my homie over there in Atlanta doing good, like we straight. I think the issue here is what Scott just said. We've never been in a situation where somebody has been so beloved, even shockingly, because, you know, when Scott had sent that text, like, yo, they really chanting his name. We've never seen that, especially at the quarterback position. Even when the closest to it, and I know all of y'all ain't young enough, but the closest to it is when the Bears traded Jim McMahon to the Chargers. But at the end of the day, you had Mike Tomczak waiting in the wings, and then you got Jim Harbaugh. So even still, you was like, yo, we ready to move on. We've never seen nobody give us the highlight reels that Justin Fields has gave us. And we also know that he was dealt a bad hand. I think even the not so fan of Justin Fields know that he was dealt a bad hand. But also, this is and only thing I could think of is Gilbert Arenas. Like when I think about this, is Gilbert Arenas in my head. When Gilbert Arenas was talking about Magic Johnson and how, you know, well, I'm not sure if he's the greatest of all time because he went to a team that went to the playoffs. Like he went to a team that was already cold. The Bears are a 7-10 team that should be a 10-7 team in the playoffs that has the number one pick in the draft. And this is the one draft, whether any of us believe in Caleb Williams or not. This is the one draft where you hear generational talent on the side of a quarterback and you got the number one pick. Just imagine if, you know, one of those teams that's currently in the playoffs, like 6 or 7 seed, imagine if they had the number one pick in the draft. They'll probably be having the same conversations that we have for the most part, especially if they want to get from under like they quarterback, like Tampa Bay's in the playoffs, right? Imagine if Tampa Bay had the number one pick in the draft. You don't think hosting the playoff game. You don't think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be like, hey man, Baker Mayfield, thank you, but we're about to go get the rookie. And he's had a good to great year for them. So it's just, this is one of those situations that is so extremely rare. And I had to get out of my feelings and understand that we just in a situation that we probably never gonna see again. A team that's half decent, they got a quarterback that's beloved, that might be replaced because you have the number one pick, but you know Buddy ass got fucked over. And the only thing that I can say is that we will see if DJ Moore got a voice, because if it's anybody on that team that should be able to say, that's my quarterback and I'm going to keep him, it's the best player on your team. That just so happens to be DJ Moore. So we'll see if he got a voice, but that voice also might be in the next regular season. He might get some passes from dude, and he be like, "Man, hey, I like."
He like your buddy, kind of good.
Yeah, you know what I just thought about. Good. You know what I've been thinking about, like while you was just talking, is the Bears do have, I don't want to say a history, but like when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, right? Like the Bears not taking Patrick Mahomes, I don't think the Bears want to go through another situation like that. So they'll risk it and take Caleb Williams, because if Caleb Williams goes somewhere else and he's cold and he's another, Patrick Mahomes type of guy, then they're gonna look back and be like, motherfucker. Fuck it.
Mariano, this is why I'm going to disagree with you. I kind of agree with you, but this is why I'm going to disagree with you. Last year's draft. Only person, literally the only person that I heard say, I'll take CJ Stroud with the #1 pick is Keyshawn Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn Johnson was on TV like, nah, fam, dude too small. Like, he was out here, should have been saying pause after everything he said. Like, CJ said, hey, man, he's small. He's too small, man. I need my quarterback big. CJ Stroud is the #1 pick.
Wild pause.
Right, wild pause. And look who's right. But anybody that had the #1 pick, they probably picking Bryce Young. If the Houston Texans would have actually got the trade with the Bears, they would have picked Bryce Young, and they probably would not be as successful as they were this year. What I'm saying is the reason why I disagree with you is because I think all of us are kind of iffy on Caleb Williams for one reason or another. But what if Drake May nice?
Right.
What if Michael Penix Jr. nice?
Yeah.
What if for some reason Bo Nix is nice?
Okay.
What's going to happen? No. Hear me out. Either way it go, if the Bears pick Caleb Williams and he's not as nice as any of them niggas,
then it's still
is they still gonna say it.
I got you.
The Bears shouldn't think about that because nobody thought. I sit up there and had an argument. With Scott, and we didn't talk about Patrick Mahomes. We talked about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
nobody talked about that, man. So we all thinking like Patrick. I thought Patrick Mahomes would be an offensive coordinator like Major Applewhite by 27 years old, my G. Because nobody be successful. Name me the best quarterback out of Texas Tech since outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Come on, fam. That shit is an outlier, fam. I'm not saying I was a Mitchell Trubisky fan, but that shit was an outlier. So
even with Mitch, they fucked him. Like pause. Like they fucked him because like they set him up. Like it's the circle of shit that I was just saying. Like you first of all, John Fox didn't want Mitch. He wanted Freaky Sean, and then if he couldn't get Freaky Sean, he wanted Jamal Adams. So
I wanted Jamal Adams.
Yeah, you say fuck what your head coach want, and then you fire him. Mitch has a different coach. And people talking about the double doink game, that everybody's been bringing up. Fuck you, Joe Buck, for talking about it in the middle of the game. But Mitch did his job in that game. Like I remember that game. Like Mitch did his job. All you had to do is the things. So, like it's the circle of shit, man. And so I don't envy Ryan Poles' position. We'll talk about this over time about our confidence level of what we think, of Ryan Poles. Has it changed in the last 24 hours? But it's Bears fans need to wake up and smell the coffee, I believe, and think about the realistic ramifications about this. This is the biggest offseason ever, man. But
paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna